Hello, my name is Ryan Gross and this is Vaping versus Smoking. Should vaping nicotine be presented as a safe alternative to smoking? Vaping is viewed by many non-professional sources as a much safer alternative to smoking. E-cigarette or vape companies have marketed their products as an alternative to smoking. These companies use marketing tactics to make their devices seem like a better option than smoking traditional cigarettes. On the left is a Vuse Alto and on the right is a Juul device. These are two of many very popular vaping devices. These products are marketed as a smoking alternative and even a tool to help people quit smoking. This has led to many misconceptions about the safety of these devices and their liquids or e-liquids. Vaping is viewed as safe when compared to smoking. Just looking up the images from my previous slide, Juul described their device as the smoking alternative unlike any e-cigarette or vape. Juul does not directly state that their product is safer than smoking, but it does describe it as the alternative, which could easily be viewed by someone looking to justify the habit as a reason that vaping is safer. Personal experience and looking at reviews online has shown that many users think they are inhaling water vapor, or that the only dangerous chemical in the e-liquid is nicotine. This could not be further from the truth. Many official medical sources show that the aerosol produced by vapes can contain metal, cancer-causing chemicals in the flavoring, and in general damages the respiratory system. On top of this, some Vuse Alto pods can contain up to 4 times the amount of nicotine than what's in a pack of cigarettes. These pods are sold in packs of 2 and 4. This level of nicotine can be equal to up to 16 packs of cigarettes. From left to right, there is an example of Vuse pods, Juul pods, and Enjoy pods. E-cigarette companies targeted a younger audience. This visual from Empower Wellness shows how many high school and middle school students use vaping devices in 2022. Even with the age restriction being risen from 18 to 21, adolescents are still getting their hands on vapes. These vapes appeal to a younger audience because of all the flavors. You can get hundreds of different flavors from any vape store in the country. These flavors can be fruity. They have dessert flavors like birthday cake. They even have mixtures like watermelon ice cream. The FDA cracked down on this previously, but the flavor laws only restricted disposable pod devices from any flavors other than tobacco. These laws do not completely restrict disposable devices like Elf Bar or Mr. Fogg. These companies are supplying completely disposable devices with all of the fruity flavors to minors who can no longer get these flavors from pod systems like Vuse and Juul. There is little knowledge of long-term effects. There is no definitive knowledge of long-term effects from vaping from any credible sources. They simply have not been around long enough for anyone to know how it will affect someone's body in 20 years. E-cigarette companies use chemicals approved by the FDA for consumption, but these chemicals are eaten, not inhaled. So the long-term effects on the lungs, heart, and brain are unknown. This should keep anyone from vaping, especially since it is known that the aerosol contains cancer-causing agents. It might not be a problem now, but it could be very bad in years to come. From left to the right, there is an example of a Mr. Fogg, Puff Bar, and Elf Bar. The opposing view. Cigarettes are bad for your body. This is not new information. There are over 7,000 chemicals in cigarette smoke, including over 50 known carcinogens. They have a strong odor when being smoked that lingers. They are heavily viewed as nasty by the younger generation. They leave nicotine stains. They produce secondhand smoke and give regular smokers problems like smoker's cough. This does not make vaping safer. Vaping is far less stigmatized than smoking. It is viewed as safe and cool by adolescents, but all vape companies have done is hooked the next generation on nicotine. Smoking doesn't have metal in the smoke, but that doesn't make it a safer option than vaping. Smokers should not switch to vaping, and people who don't already use nicotine products should never start. People who use nicotine and are concerned about the health effects should quit nicotine products completely instead of switching habits or dual using. From left to right, there is an example of Marlboro, Camel, and Seneca cigarettes. Reflection. When I initially started to write this paper, I wanted to write it on why vaping would be a safer alternative to smoking. But after researching for an hour why vaping would be safer, I found overwhelming evidence that it is not. I do not vape or smoke, but I know smokers, and I was under the impression that vaping would be a safe alternative. Through my research, I found overwhelming evidence that the best course of action for any smoker or vape user is to quit nicotine altogether. I knew vaping wasn't completely safe, but I had no idea it was as dangerous and addictive as it is, along with e-cigarette companies making some pretty shady business decisions. So I came to the conclusion that none of it was safe. And that is vaping versus smoking. Thank you for watching.